Lines. Teenage boys slaughter girlfriend, burn her head for money rituals in Ogun State. Police in Katsina repel bandit attack, rescue victims of human trafficking. Governor Wike says illegal crude refiners are ruining president's health and national economy. And on the foreign scene, U.S. president to send troops to Eastern Europe amid Ukraine diplomacy push. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust Television. I am Martia Umar. And now the news in detail. Teenage boys were arrested for burning the head of a girl said to be in a relationship with one of them for money ritual in Okiaregba area of Abeokuta, Ogun State. The Ogun State Police Public Relations Officer Bimbola Oyemi, while confirming the incident on Saturday, said the three boys identified as a 17-year-old Wariz Oladende from Kuba, 19-year-old Abdulgafar Lukman from Kuba, and Mustakim Balogun from Bodeolude, all in Abeokuta. Saliu lured the girl, identified as Rofiat, to his room, where he held her down and asked one of his friends to slaughter her with a knife. Meanwhile, the police have ordered for a massive manhunt for the fleeing boyfriend of the victim by the name Soliat. Police in Katsina State said they have rescued 7 victims of human trafficking and repelled an attack by bandits on Fadimawa village in Kurfi local government area of the state. While briefing journalists on Friday, the police spokesperson in Katsina, Gambo Isa, said the trafficked victims from the southern part of the country were rescued at Koza village in May Adua local government area above the town with Niger Republic. In the course of investigation, the victims stated that they were brought to the village by their agent, who on sighting the police team took to his heels and escaped with their GSM phones. The father stated that they were on their route from Nigeria to Libya through the Niger Republic border. And meanwhile, 2 people have been killed and several others abducted in separate bandit attack in Faskari, the Musawa and Basari local government area of Katsina State. The bandits also set ablaze 2 blocks of 4 classrooms at Government Day Secondary School, Yar Malamay of Faskari local government area, and rustled hundreds of cows, sheep and goats. But Trust TV's Abdullahi Ahmadi has more details.
At Ungwar Domae and Ungwar Baidu villages, all in Faskari local government, the bandits killed 1 Abdullalo, abducted 5 people and rustled unspecified number of animals 2 days ago. Similarly, the bandits blocked Ruangodia Sheme Road in a broad daylight on Thursday, harassed and beat people mercilessly after robbing them of all their belongings. The villagers were said to have put several distress calls on the military, whose checkpoint was a stone throw from the scene of the incidents, without any positive response. Dr. Bashiru Usman Ruangodia, who hails from Faskari local government, says hardly a day passes without recording bandits' attacks, lament over the persistent attacks which continue to displace people and expose them to a series of hazards.
2 major instances at a particular point we call Hawan Tulaki, just 2 or 3 kilometers away from the camp of the military in Sheme. People were attacked, they rushed to the military, but the military couldn't do anything. In fact, many of them were abducted into the nearby forests. Some of them were wounded, injured. Currently, as I speak to you today on Friday, we still have 2 people, including 1 driver who drove from Benungwari on his way to, I think, one of these markets in Katsina State. He was attacked by these bandits. He was wounded, and currently he is receiving treatment at one of our facilities in Gongoja. And the military are there, no immediate response.
In a related development, one Mai Ungwa Umar of Gadawa village near Marabar Dang Ali was shot dead by suspected bandits Wednesday night, while one Malam Lawal of Tasharame Alewa, all in the Musa local government area, was abducted by unknown gunmen. According to the villagers, the bandits went to the communities in their numbers, boggled shops and rustled animals freely without any resistance. However, a combined team of police and vigilante group from the Dusuma Area Command of the Nigeria Police Force have burnt 2 houses of some suspected bandits at a Fulani settlement near Dang Ali village of the Musa local government area. From Musa local government area, one Samaila Usman told Trust Television that bandits have abducted 3 women at Erikire village for the 3rd time in only 1 month. People such as Muhammad Ashiru, Badia Isa, Habiba Engaya, who said they are refugees in their own state, called on the government to be more proactive in deploying more security personnel to end the incessant killings, kidnappings and cattle rustling which have destroyed the socio-economic well-being of the people. These attacks by bandits, day in, day out, we are having sleepless nights. We have resorted to prayers for God's intervention. That's all. I came here because our village, Yangaya, was attacked by bandits. We have been attacked severally. My husband was beaten to the point of coma. They took all we have, the bandits. Bandits have been coming to our village. We have to relocate to this village for safety. They have rustled all our animals. They have taken away all our belongings. After several calls and text messages, the police public relations officer, Katsina State Police Command SP Gambo Isa, was not available up to the time of compiling this report. Observers say, in spite of the incessant killings, there is nothing glaringly clear that the end of the guerrilla attacks is approaching and the warfare changes dynamics by the day. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Police in Yobe State says it has arrested 3 suspects, including a soldier, from criminal conspiracy, house breaking and armed robbery. Police Public Relations Officer of the state, ASP Dungus Abdul Karim, confirmed this in a statement on Saturday. The suspects were said to have invaded the dormitory residence of one Aisha Usman of Sabon Pagi Ward at midnight and inflicted serious injuries on the victim and her son, Ahmed Umar, aged 17 years, after tying them up with satellite cable wire. Armed with deadly weapons, including an AK-47 rifle, the suspects were said to have carted away the sum of 250,000 naira cash, 307 Porsche saloon car and Nokia handset belonging to the victim. In another development, a bloody clash between police and suspected cult members in Ilorin, Kwara State's capital on Saturday created tension among residents. Confirming the incident, Kwara Commander spokesperson Ajayo Konsami said the pandemonium is as a result of the attack unleashed on a team of police detectives from the Special Tactical Squad, STS, FIB Abuja, who came on the trail of some cultists in the area. Okonsami added that some suspected cult members had on Friday last week attacked and killed a student of Kwara State University, Malete. 4 of the cultists were arrested and dangerous weapons were recovered from the suspects.
So this morning, very early in the morning, there was an attack on a student by name Idris Deremi in La Lojo area of Ilorin. It's a urban town in the area of the Kwara State Polytechnic. So the team from the STS, Force FIB Abuja, who are here, had a very actionable intelligence regarding cultists and some men with guns terrorizing the students and innocent individuals around the area. So they went there this morning, unknown to them that the criminals are aware that they were coming. So they already laid down bush for them. They attacked the policemen. They shot at the windscreen of the Hummer bus. They went there, and in the ensuing fracas, some people were injured. A police sergeant was shot in the head, but by the grace of God, he's still in the hospital now recuperating. And 2 of the suspects were arrested with an English-made or English-fabricated pistol, 3 live ammunition, and 2 cartridges.
A petrol tanker laden with premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, has sparked a fire at the popular Opa Iweka Junction in the commercial city of Onitsha. The incident, which occurred in front of the relief market, had many buildings and shops around the scene of the incident. And Trust TV's Onora Animwobudo reports.
An eyewitness said the incident was caused by the articulated truck which broke down at the back portion of the busy Onitsha-Owerri Expressway.
Every two weeks, you can see another one. Any container where reach here go fall because bad road. We don't have road here.
Speaking with some other eyewitness, they say the fire caused serious traffic gridlock along the highway as fire servicemen, both from Anambra and Delta states, battled the raging fire.
I have my shop here. The thing is totally damaged. The fire destroyed everything there. So we have a very sad moment this morning. It's a pity. But what we notice is that the government of Anambra State didn't come on time to quench the fire. It was only the Asaba people, the section of Asaba people, the fire service that came to rescue some. But before they came, it has damaged a lot of things here. Before they came, it's around after 12. So it's wrong. The government should help people. Whenever emergencies arise, they should help people.
Since last year, the Lord have killing people. Since last 2 years. So let them liberate the Lord. Let our government help us. People are dying. See how people have shop here. People are dying. Let them help us.
Incident was confirmed by the Southeast Zonal Coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, Major Eze. This is not the first time the commercial city of Onitsha is rocked by a tanker explosion incident. Onora Animwobudo for Trust TV.
And still talking about tanker explosion, elsewhere in Abia State, a petrol tanker exploded within the premises of a filling station in Umuahia, Abia State on Saturday. A resident of Aba Road in the state capital woke up to huge smoke billowing from the station, which is reportedly owned by a serving minister. Though the cause of the inferno is unknown, the fire lasted for hours. The filling station is situated close to some residential buildings along Aba Road and few meters away from the city center. Reports say many residents with buckets of water supported efforts of firefighters to contain the inferno. Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, says illegal crude oil refinery operators are causing great health hazard to residents in the state and destroying the national economy, which his administration will not tolerate. Governor Wike made the declaration when he received on courtesy visit the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, at the state's government house in Port Harcourt. The report.
The governor told the Chief of Defense Staff the importance of war against illegal crude oil refinery activities because the proceeds from the oil and gas sector sustain the country. He said all hands must be on deck. It doesn't matter whichever faction everyone may be. What is important is everybody, especially security agencies, must come together to defend any of the national assets.
My problem is the willingness of security agencies to completely support this operation. to if they can completely. Because whether you like it or not, the security agencies are involved. I am ready to give them the logistics support, everything, but sincerely, let them fight this fight. My happiness is that the GOC has given me the assurance that it's going to fight it to the last. They're giving me that assurance that it's coming here to fight crime, and particularly this crime of oil and gas. So the way he spoke to me, I feel confident. If this is the only war they have succeeded to fight, it is to our credit. It is to our credit.
Governor Wike assured that his administration will not spare any meaningful measure that can be deployed to stem illegal crude oil refinery activity in the state.
Look at the way the level of crime has been reduced in the state. It's because nobody has politicized the issue of security, unlike what you used to do in those days in my state. Instead of fighting crime and criminality, they politicized it. I can assure you, when I give somebody assurance, when I tell you I will do something, anybody who knows me knows that I'm going to do it. So I'm going to give them every support. This fight, we will not allow it. We cannot end it. I have declared this fight as a war against terrorism. I will treat them more than Boko crime. Because they are stealing our economy and killing our people.
Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Irabor said he is in Port Harcourt as part of the tour of military formation in the Niger Delta to assess security strategies and to also motivate officers for greater efficiency. General Irabor expressed delight over audacity shown by the Rivers State Governor in championing the fight against illegal crude oil refinery activities that have been a great threat to the oil and gas industry.
What it helps us to do is to garner the kind of support that we have always advocated, not just within the government circles, but of course beyond the government and reaching out to the people. For us on our part, which is actually part of the reason why we undertake the operational activities, is to see that the objectives of our operational engagement are achieved. And going forward, I believe that this will help to build a partnership that is required in synergy amongst not just the armed forces, but of course all security agencies and other stakeholders in the view to enabling us to, of course, the nation in general.
Recall that Governor said in his meeting with traditional rulers and other stakeholders had warned that nobody indicated as operator of illegal refinery will escape the full wrath of the law.
You're still watching Trust TV News updates on Trust Television. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at how the story of Abuja residents living on the mountaintop. Do stay with us.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. You're still watching Trust TV News Update. Now to the rest of the news. But before then, we'll take a look at the headlines again. We told you that 3 teenage boys have been arrested for burning the head of a girl said to be in a relationship with one of them for a money ritual in Okiaregba area of Abeokuta, Ogun State. And police in Katsina said that they have rescued 7 victims of human trafficking and repelled an attack by bandits on Fad Imawa village in Kofi local government area of the state. And now to other news, a federal lawmaker and the promoter of peace in Yoruba land, Shina Pella, says Nigeria lost an average of 35,000 persons in the year 2021 to banditry, kidnapping, robbery and Boko Haram. Pella stated this while interacting with stakeholders in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital, on the need for Nigerians to embrace peace to ensure progress and development of the country. According to him, he believes that the leadership should come up with proactive plans to engage the citizens on the importance of peaceful coexistence regardless of political ideology, religious beliefs or ethnicity. The report.
Development and progress cannot be achieved in an atmosphere of rancor and acrimony, which is why some concerned Nigerians have taken the mandate to visit parts of the country to preach and promote the significance of peace among Nigerians, irrespective of their political, religious or ethnic affiliations. Pella is among the concerned Nigerians who visited Zamfara State to interact with stakeholders on the need to foster peaceful coexistence, unity and tolerance. According to him, for the sake of equity, fairness and justice, power should be shifted from the north to the south to enhance togetherness and peace in the country.
We cannot achieve progress as a nation without peace. And on this note, considering what has happened within the last 1 year in Nigeria, that we have lost over 35,000 people to insecurity in Nigeria, making a lot of people displaced from their homes. We are stopping in Zamfara today. After we've stopped in Mina, Niger State, we've been in Kebbi State, we've been to Sokoto, and now we are in Zamfara. We understand that the state is bleeding. And outside preaching the word of peace to the citizens of the state, we are supporting the internally displaced persons by giving them some food as a token of support to them. We are establishing this relationship with Zamfara State, knowing that the state has so much resources and has so much potential. And until the state is peaceful, the state will not be able to rise up, to this potential. I am also the founder of the Lead Generation Initiative, an organization that is developing a new generation of leaders in Nigeria. We have been training youth from one state to another, and we are in 11 states as I speak, where we have trained youth on active citizenship to develop their interest in nation building, political mobilization and political organizing, and also to drive them on how they can be able to be leaders from the comfort of their own communities.
The Emir of Gusau, Ibrahim Bello, commended the efforts of the lawmaker towards developing the youths and the donation of relief materials to the internally displaced persons, IDPs, in Zamfara State. He observed that a lot of atrocities are being committed in the society because the youths are idle, but if they are empowered economically, they can't contribute to the development of the country.
I wish to tell you that we are together with you, and we are ready to go along with you, and we will give you the maximum cooperation you deserve. And, on behalf of my colleagues, the emirs, especially our chairman, the Emir of Anka, who is unavoidably absent, we are ready to contribute whatever we can to ensure that a penny is dropped. So be rest assured that we appreciate what you do, and we will continue to give our help.
Abuja, Nigeria's capital, is one of the most beautiful and populated cities in Nigeria. It is the 8th most populous city of Nigeria, and according to the United Nations, Abuja grew by 139.7% between 2000 and the year 2010, making it the fastest growing city in the world. Many thronged in from different corners of the country in search of greener pastures, but this comes at a price for those who can't afford decent housing. They are forced to settle for the temporary housing on illegal lands. And here's a story of a mountain villages in Guzakbe, an area in the Federal Capital Territory. Take a look.
No social amenities, a long energy-draining hike, and a scene reminiscent of extinction are what describes the small community behind this mountain, referred to as Costain Hilltop, which the inhabitants now call Mountain Village.
He originated from the Costain that was down, who was the owner of the big resort, so originally it was called Costain Hilltop. But as time went on, people decided that it was on a mountain, so they started calling it Mountain Village. So I'm sure the people know this mountain as Mountain Village.
Now the irony of it all is when you look at this other side, And then look at that other side where all the civilization and the beauty of Abuja lies. You begin to wonder, is this really the FCT?
This village, located in the heart of the Federal Capital Territory, used to be home to over 7,000 people until it got demolished. Many who now live here are either returnees or people who can't afford to pay for rent in the capital city. They set up temporary structures to enable them have a place to lay their heads. 45-year-old Chris Milan has lived here for almost 15 years.
All hands are not equal. Going up and down this mountain, it takes you 1 hour, 1.5 hours to climb up, depending on the kind of person that you are. If you look around this mountain, you can't find anybody who is fat because the fatigue is high. It's like you going on a jog every morning because you have to get to work and get back. You know, there is no water, there's no light. So you have to get down the mountain to fetch water. Use jerry cans to bring it up. You understand? Some people can't do it, so they pay people who go down this mountain and fetch, like the widows around, you know, and their children. Most of the times they have to go down the mountain, look for food, look for firewood to cook, you know, and then fetch water and bring. You should come see sometime.
A tour around some parts of the village shows structural foundations that were demolished, and the place has returned to being farmlands of the native Bagi people.
Yeah, the okra has taken place, the farm is taking place. It's on top of somebody's house. You know, these are all houses. You know, that's the Sokaway there. You know, these are all houses. Here used to be houses where you could see it's taken over by cashews and all the grains that they planted. See cashews being planted in between so that you don't have space to build your house even when you come back.
We met 25-year-old Elizabeth Amos, who is a mother of 2. She was pregnant with this baby at the time the authorities demolished their home. The fright and agony triggered her to go into premature labor. Her home and shop all got demolished, leaving her with no source of livelihood to feed her kids or send them to school. To survive, she now picks used plastic food storage containers, popularly known as takeaway packs, from refuse, washes them, and resells them. Fatima Musa, who has remained...
And on the international scene, U.S. President Joe Biden is maintaining pressure on Russian leader Vladimir Putin over Ukraine after announcing a small troop deployment to Eastern Europe, even as top Pentagon officials backed a renewed push for diplomacy. French President Emmanuel Macron's aide said Putin told the French leader in a call. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky urged Western leaders to avoid stirring panic over the massive Russian troop buildup on his country's borders. Putin and French President Emmanuel Macron agreed on the need for de-escalation. Neither Putin nor his European and American counterparts had until now appeared ready to give ground in the weeks-long crisis, the worst in decades between Russia and the West.
I'll be moving U.S. troops to Eastern Europe and the NATO countries in the near term. Not a lot. Thank you.
And that wraps up the news update at this hour. Thank you for being a part of the news. But for more updates, you can look us up on our various social media platforms displayed on your screen. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching.